Do rich people spend money differently? Yes, they do. Not because they have more money, but because they manage their money better than the poor. Dave Ramsey, a man who squandered his fortune at a young age and lost millions of dollars in just a few years, has transformed his setbacks into a source of wisdom to help millions of people avoid the same mistake and achieve financial independence. Drawing from his experience, Dave has a unique perspective on frugality and financial independence. He knows and understands how the average man wastes his hard-earned money. In his quest to help people avoid financial pitfalls, Dave highlighted 15 things the poor waste money on. The 11th one will really make you think. The goal of this video is not to make you feel attacked, but rather to shed light on possible habits that keep you broke. Number 1. Games and in-app purchases. Do you know that over 70% of Fortnite players spend money on the game? On average, these players spend $84.67 solely on digital items in Fortnite. Meanwhile, reports show that Candy Crush generates over $2 billion a year through sales of extra lives and other in-game items. I guess you're surprised by those figures, right? Now the question is, who plays those games the most? The average man, of course. Imagine you are a dedicated gamer. It's so easy to accumulate 1,000 hours of gameplay in a year. Now factor your hourly pay into that. Let's take an average rate of $20 per hour. That's about $20,000 you're throwing out the window without factoring in the expenses of purchasing the game, console, or system, and any additional in-game purchases. And if you choose to invest those hours in a side hustle, you would be at least $10,000 richer after all deductions. 2. Glamour and beautification. Have you seen the nails and the haircuts on people who can't afford to fix their cars? It can be intimidating. Yet those are part of the priorities of the poor man. It's kind of weird to see people invest so much in new hairstyles every 2 weeks to impress people who don't really care about them. Have you ever noticed that most wealthy people have a similar straightforward haircut? Even successful female entrepreneurs avoid extravagant diamond jewelry or excessive embellishments on their nails. These observations should convey a message to you. Instead of throwing that money out the window, start fixing your windows. 3. Credit cards. Credit cards are not bad in themselves, but the poor man maxes out credit cards like it's an open check, and usually on non-essential things. Once you cannot repay the borrowed amount by the end of the month, it transforms into a debt with an escalating interest rate. The moment you go into debt, you're no longer working for yourself. You're working for the bank. At this point, your life and income are no longer yours until that debt is repaid. To avoid giving out your hard-earned money to the bank in the name of interest payments, why not completely do away with credit cards? You'll do just fine without them. 4. Impulse purchases. You do not need 3 phone cases, a new wallet, or kitchen appliances that you will only use once. No, you don't. You know the essential things you need, but oftentimes you end up buying things marketed to you, believing you will need them. You don't need them. You only wanted those products. Have you ever taken the time to calculate how much you spend on such purchases? A study conducted in the UK revealed that the average Brit spends approximately £150,000 on impulsive purchases throughout their lifetime, while their American counterparts spend $5,000 per year. That's a lot of money that could literally transform anyone's life. 5. Discount sales on online shopping sites. If there's any major way an average man wastes money, it's through online shopping, as they often believe they are taking advantage of some discount offers. Those marketers are wiser than you think. To attain financial independence, you must drastically reduce your visits to these sites. Better yet, uninstall these apps and only visit physical stores. 6. Miracle diets and weird fitness products. This is yet another way many people lose their money. The dudes you see in those videos with their AI images are often personal trainers who work out 10 hours per day, 7 days a week. That's what they do for a living. Those fake products are designed to prey on people looking for easy and quick methods. If you want to lose weight, work on your diet and do some regular workouts. This leads me to the next point. Number 7. Unnecessary subscriptions. Here is yet another money-draining pothole. An average American has more than 5 dormant subscription packages. You need to reduce the number of subscriptions you have, especially those you don't think are necessary or use less often. This also means not subscribing to anything that adds no long-lasting value to you. 8. Flashy cars. Except for public use, a ride is not an asset, but a liability. Buying a new car requires you to have quite a considerable sum of money, which can go a long way if invested. Unfortunately, many people take out huge loans to pay for a luxury ride just to look rich. According to Dave Ramsey, the substantial upfront cost and rapid depreciation of new vehicles makes them a significant wasteful expenditure. 9. Food waste. Dave is well known for his zero-based budget rule, which simply means every dollar you earn must be accounted for. If you account for every penny, you'll probably avoid spending excessively on groceries because you will only purchase what's essential. Studies reveal that the average American household throws away 30 to 40% of their food purchase every month. That's about $2,000 per year. Further studies reveal the poor waste even more than the middle class. So why not cut down on your grocery spending instead? 10. Excessively eating out. Many people do not see cooking at home as a frugal habit because of the daunting process of preparing a meal. Going out to eat or ordering your food might be a smart move, but it's one of the ways you waste money because it costs you about 2 to 4 times more than a homemade meal, except if you would be paying for junk food that looks cheaper. However, remember, anything cheap can be very expensive in the long run when the medical bills for diverse health issues come knocking on your door. There are easy-to-make recipes that you can learn, which would not make you spend the whole day in the kitchen. Cooking at home saves you money and makes you eat healthier. Talking about health, Dave Ramsey recently shared an intriguing insight into how people waste money on their health, which leads me to the next point. Number 11. Health. I guess you're surprised to see this on the list as well. But do you know that when you fail to take care of your health, you will end up spending more on your health in the long run? That's what many people do. You don't want to go to the dentist to check the toothache? You'll have to pay for an implant in 2 years. You don't want to pay for a checkup? You'll be hospitalized when the infection escalates and becomes life-threatening. It's as simple as that. Going for regular checkups is the best way to save money and not the other way around. 12. Expensive coffee. Having a delicious coffee every morning from Starbucks is a luxury you can do without. Why waste money on what you can do yourself? Dave Ramsey says he brews his own coffee, and it tastes as good as Starbucks. 13. Latest tech. I don't know if I'm the only one who observes this, but guys, if you observe that it's mostly those struggling financially who have the latest devices, they spend ridiculous amounts on buying the latest tech every year. One can't help but wonder how they get the money. Dave will always say, if you can't pay for it once, you can't afford it. Getting the new iPhone by paying for it multiple times means you can't afford it. Similarly, you don't need a large flat-screen TV when your apartment needs maintenance. 14. Balling in the club. There's a certain thrill in popping bottles at the club, with all eyes on you as champagne arrives at your table. I know that feeling. It sure feels good. But you know it doesn't feel good? Returning to that low-wage 9-to-5 job and working tirelessly for another month just to squander it at the club so you can feel that sensation again for just a few hours. Lastly, what else do the poor waste money on? Number 15. Designer baby clothes. In an attempt to satisfy their kids, the average person often goes overboard. Why spend $300 on a Gucci wear that your toddler will only wear for a few months? Infants quickly outgrow their clothes. Investing in expensive designer wear for kids is one of the ways many waste their money. It's time to do things differently if you want to achieve financial independence. I hope this video helps. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon at Investor Broadcast.